Hello, this is another one of those videos about origin of universe and how our body or entire universe comes into the existence. We did talk about it briefly. Sometimes people say that what is death or what happens when the universe is dissolved and what happens to the karma when the universe actually goes into extinction. Please remember that according to the Indian or Hindu philosophy, expressed universe and unexpressed universe would be the two terminologies that one could consider using it. So in Sanskrit it is called avyakta, which means it is not expressed, and vyakta would be an expressed. So when universe comes to an existence, which means all the qualities in it come to an expression. When it is not in an expressive state, it is singularity, and everything, all the bhutas or the animals and everything goes back to its original status, and everything in a calm, single unity. So we talked briefly about the five big elements, or what is called the Mahabhute. Now, these are not in a real way expressed when I say the names of it, but they are changed, and they're changed to a point in our place or existence of us in such a way that they have a resemblance to the original one, but not exactly. So the five are the space, the wind, the fire, the water, and the earth. Now one could consider fire as an energy, the water as a liquid stat, and earth as a solid status. And if you remember the five organs of perception, you will realize that each one has one plus the previous ones. So for example, if I would go back from the space, you cannot see the space. You cannot touch it, you cannot smell it, you cannot test it. So space is just a space. And that is related in our body to the sound or the ear or perception of hearing. The next one to come in existence would be, or next one as a pancha or five mahabhuta or five different great elements would be the wind. So as you remember in the Big Bang Theory, everything was initially nothing but an explosion occupying space. Then there were some elements formed which were in a way, they were not solid, they were not liquid, but they were in a gaseous form. The helium furnace, the hydrogen atoms, that kind of stuff. So here we're talking about the wind, or we call it Vayu in Sanskrit. This is related to the perceptive organs of skin, which is involved in touch. Now, as you can imagine, the wind does need a space, the air needs a space, and it can be touched. You can feel the wind blowing. The next one to come into existence was energy, or the fire. Now, as you remember, when the elements started forming, there was the furnace. So in the furnace, there was fire, or there was energy. Now, as you can imagine, the fire needs a space. The fire can be touched, and don't touch it. It's hot. And it also can be seen. So the three qualities the fire element has is space, touch, and vision or seen, and this is represented in our body as eyes or vision. The next one to come in the existence was water or liquid status. Now, as you can imagine, again, the liquid status, which is water or any liquid, needs a space. It also can be touched. It also can be seen. And the next one, it can be tasted. The previous three, you cannot test them. The next one, which is water, can be tested. And it is represented in our body as tongue or taste buds. You cannot taste without the liquid. So it has four qualities, one of which is new. The three are from the previous one. The next big element is the earth. The earth, or a solid, or you can imagine it can have a smell. So the additional quality which is perceived is a smell, which of course is in your nose. And the earth needs a space. It can be touched, it can be seen, it can be tasted, and it also has a smell. So the earth has all the five qualities. The water has three, the fire or the energy has, water has four, the fire has three, the wind has two, and the space has one, and they represent each nose or smell, tongue or taste, eye or vision, skin or touch, and ear or sound. So the sound has to travel in the space. That's why we're talking about the space. So these are the five elements, and these are not in exact way that you might perceive it. So when the universe comes to an existence, which means it is expressed, it never was not in existence. It is always in existence. But in colloquial language, when we talk about expression, it is vyakta. All these qualities come into existence. They all come into existence. There are several other elements that go in forming these elements. So there is a pervading consciousness. Beyond that, there is a five pranas, and then there are five mahabhuta, or great elements, and then there is a five organs of perception and five organs of action, and this is how they come in existence as an astral body. The physical body has, of course, the physical elements, which includes the blood, the skull, or the bones rather, and also the flesh, and the liquid, which is blood. So these are in physical body, in addition to which we also have mind, intellect, ego, and chitta, and we of course have the five elements, five pranas, etc. So this is not a confusing. Once we know that each element has its own function or representation in the existence of physical body, then it becomes easier to understand it. Now, there is a big process through which the universe goes into it when there is an expression. You remember the three qualities that I had mentioned, the three gunas. These gunas are activating, which is rajas, sattvic, which is cool or calm or pure, and the tamasic, which is laziness, are combined with different organs or different elements, and that's how the whole existence comes in. There is no person existing in this universe who does not have three qualities. One may be predominant, one may be less, one may be zero. And there is no person who has all these five elements. There is no person who has five pranas or breath or the air sheets. There is no person who has ego, mind, intellect, and chitta. So now that we know this, I'm going to try to talk to you about the consciousness and also about the free will. Because free will comes into an existence when we talk about law of karma. There has been a great debate in neuroscientific world whether we actually act on our will or this is a direct impression or carried forward by the brain. And I'll tell you about those experiments in my next video. Again, I'm trying to summarize certain things quickly. I hope you get it. Please write to me if you have any questions. If you like the video, subscribe to it and listen to it. Thank you.